Welcome back, Keepers of the Flame. I am continuing on now. I'm going to go to the Earth signs and try to rock this out for you guys. So I'm not so overwhelmed tomorrow. And I'm going to go with Capricorn right now. And picking a deck. What is Capi? Capi, White Sage Trail. Usually this is my clarifying deck. I'm like, what am I missing? Alright. Capi gets the sweet little White Sage Tarot for the Blood Moon. Eclipse in Taurus. Let's see what we got going and shaking for Capricorn. What's the universe needs you to know? Ooh, hang on. Jeez. Okay, Capi, they got some message for you. Okay. Okay. Got it. Okay. So, first two, the Fool and the Queen of Wands. So, stepping into an energy that you might not be familiar with because you're an Earth sign. So, either you're... And I could interpret this in different ways. They're asking me to try to expand a little bit. So, this might be you might have your eye on somebody and you could be willing to step over the edge, which is weird for Capricorn. They're usually very steady, stable, strategic in their life in every area, at least the Capricorns that I've known. And then you've got the Four of Pentacles. Not surprising, but you're not only, I think this is like, I think you're holding back from this person from telling them maybe what your value is. Not just like in the bank account, but like in like what you bring to the table, maybe what you have to offer. You're being really cautious about that aspect of it, but you're still stepping into something that you're unfamiliar with. You're going off into the great unknown. And you're happy. You're happy as a leg. You got a little stick. All right. Rock it out, Capricorn. And then you've got the Magician and the Four of Swords. Are you the Queen of Wands energy? That's what I'm getting here. You're on fire. You're literally on fire. But you're relaxed about it. You're going to alchemize something. Capi. This is a Blood Moon Eclipse read? What the heck's going on? My last three reads have been, oh my shivers. Okay. I'll take a good read. Those last three were a freaking doozy. And, you know, it is in the Earth sign of Taurus, so it might not hit the Earth signs as bad because it is in an Earth element. So, good on you. Dodge this bullet. That's what you done did. The only thing that might come in is there's a possibility that during the first eclipse in Scorpio, you might have started something new here. You might have started something new, and you might have to go back to the drawing board a little bit. But it doesn't look that way right now. So what else does the universe have for Capricorn in regards to the Blood Moon? Ooh, they're jumping. Oh, Scorpio got this card too. Balance. The Devil's Lettuce. Because I don't think I can say that word. I don't know, but I don't want to find out. You know what I mean? Let's not piss off the gods. It is the Blood Moon after all, darling. Okay. So, yeah, dude, you keeping it to yourself, but you're freaking capitalizing on that. I mean, look at all the different uses for that on there, right? We've got string, we've got, that's definitely oil. This is medicinal jars, right? Those little green guys, those are medicinal jars. This is salve, right? Stuff you put on your skin. It's good for, and then the seeds are self-sustaining. They should be labeled as a superfood. Back in the day, before we grew corn and soy, we grew tobacco, and before that we grew hemp. And the seeds, if the winter was rough and they didn't have enough food, they would live off the seeds. Good stuff, Capi. Well, now what the heck am I supposed to... Okay, moving. All right, blind cards. We're doing blind cards for everybody. Blind spot. Blind spot oracle. What does the universe need Capi to know about this new moon, or full moon, full blood moon in Taurus? Okay, 70. Okay, there's that. Get the deck, Okay. Interesting. So these are sigils. So just drawings and meanings. They hold sacred meaning. I put them on my walls. I put them on different things. It works. It's another way to just use your mental energy and bring it into the physical. That's all this is. I have not told any of the other signs that. Oops. Okay. So you're wavering. If you have drawn this sigil, in this situation, you are staying safe, but you are also staying stuck by having no stance, changing your stance, and or not defining yourself. You may be refusing to settle on a decision, refusing to commit, staying stuck in limbo, being wishy-washy, being two-faced, or tilting whichever way the wind blows you. No matter which way you look at it, you are not being solid in a situation where you need to be solid. You have your own feelings, thoughts, needs, desires, and perceptions. Whether you like it or not, it is part of being in a singular incarnation in this life. It is as important to develop a strong sense of self as it is to be able to transcend selfhood. You may not have been allowed to develop this self, or there may not have been consequences for you developing a self. This may have led you to being totally indecisive, non-committed, or acting rather like a chameleon. In relationships, people may feel that getting you to hold to a decision is like trying to pin down Mercury. Being able to rely on you to be solid is like trying to rely on a willow branch to not blow whatever way the wind influences it. Trying to hold on to you is like trying to hold on to a handful of air. And trying to depend on you is like building a house on quicksand. People who are wavering tend to have a harder time making decisions. It's important to be aware that if you have a difficult time making decisions as an adult, you will often find that as a child, you had experienced one or both of two traumatic quote unquote freeze states. The first is an experience, or many, where you felt like you couldn't win no matter what you did. The classic damned if you do, damned if you don't scenario. Bye, kids. The second is an experience, or many, where there is a high degree of value placed on right or wrong, success or failure. So you experience painful consequences as a result of making the choice that your adult caregivers thought was wrong. This created a fear of making the wrong choice. If we can't make a decision, it is because we fear the consequences. So ask yourself, what do I think the consequences are of each potential decision? Then take a look at these worst case scenarios and ask, what is the potential consequence making me aware that I want? You need to recognize that no decision is, in fact, a decision. It is a decision to not decide, and that takes you out of the driver's seat of your life completely. When you decide not to make a decision will be made for you. It will be made for you by life and by those around you, and they may not have your best interest in mind, or, for that matter, because the you that expressed to the world is so wavering, they may not even know what your best interests are. This sigil is telling you that now is the time to listen to your inner voice, and based on that, make solid decisions and take solid actions. Capricorn, that goes against your very nature. You are the solidest, most bestest decision makers on the planet. Step into that power. Let's go, Capi. No excuses. Okay, love you. All right. Let us move on to Taurus. Taurus, Taurus, Taurus. Da, 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 da. This is your moon. Okay. I am whipping out the dreams of Gaia for you. Okay. Major arcanas. Be down, darling. That's okay. I will read you a novel, Taurus. I will do it, darling. Okay. So we've got the Queen of Air and the 10 of Air in reverse. Dang, child. Who are you fixing to cut up in here in Taurus? So, fear not. The only one who really walks away, even Capi now, is not unscathed by these readings. We're going in hard and we're going in deep, and it's not going to be so pleasant. But the good news is this is a symbol that there's a completed cycle and the worst is over. Okay. This to me in my reads means enlightenment. So even though you might have to cut a bee, you're still enlightened while you're doing it. Okay. So don't panic. And it's not major arcana, so I'm not going to panic either. Okay. Taurus, are you afraid of your power? Are you intimidated by your own power? So people always talk about shadow work, but nobody talks about power work. They don't talk about mirror work. You need to do some power work here. You need to get where you feel in fear and stepping in your own sovereignty and your own authority and letting go of all that binds you, all that's holding you back. So you can be this. Because this is your energy. You're just not stepping into it. That's what I'm getting from this. Because this is here. You're enlightened. You're completing the cycle. But you're like, that's not for me. Yes, it is, Taurus. Yes, it is, darlings. Yes, this is so for you. This is all you. Look at that. Look at that luxurious picture. Feathers, softness, luxury. That's all Taurus right there. Even though this is an air symbol. Aries, I think, is the queen. Don't quote me. So you need to step into your sovereignty and your power here. Because you just completed a cycle. So now you don't need to be afraid of that anymore. Because the 10 of Wands or the 10 of Swords reverse is second to this. So there's no excuses anymore, Taurus. Step in. Dude, let her rip, man. Let's go. Okay. We're going to use this deck. Okay. What else for Taurus? How is Taurus going to handle this new, or this full moon eclipse in their sign? Okay, I got more. Okay, I need more. Okay. How are we going to step into Taurus's power? Is that what you gave me? How are we going to do this, Taurus? So you need to just take a hot minute. Take a hot minute. The Hermit usually has their lantern with them. And right now she's holding a fishing pole with a lighted bobber on it. Those are fun. You and me going fishing in the dark. Okay, I'm over it. Okay, sorry. I'm not a good singer. I apologize. But legit, you're going fishing. But you're going fishing with the inner lights. You're not afraid of the abyss. So why are you afraid of Stepping into the freaking whoosh power. Like, dude, you don't gotta, like, scare everybody on the street corner with it. Just fine. Stick it in your back pocket and be like, oh, you're gonna be mean today? Are you sure about that? You sure you want to be mean to Taurus today? That kind of energy. You don't need to, like, just haul off with it like Scorpio. Just settle. I know you. Key phase from Taurus. Just calm down. What do you? Just there's no need to panic. That's what I love about Taurus. They're good balances for Scorpionic energy. They will calm your shit in no time. They'll just look at you like, why are you being so emotional right now? Scorpio look at Taurus. How can you keep your cool at a time like this? I love it. Taurus, you're awesome. Okay, so you need to go inside because that's where this resides, right? This isn't external. Because if you do, you can be this quaint gentleman in all his beauty, his luxurious, which is so Taurus energy. They like the luxuries. It's got to taste good. It's got to feel good. It's got to smell good. It's got to look good. Taurus energy. But put this in your back pocket. Come on. You can do this. Just a little bit of work. Inner work. Inner work. Deal with that demon. This isn't the demon. The demon is made up by this right here. Okay, this is screwing with you to make you believe that this is bad energy. But let me tell you something. I'll tell you a secret. You ready? The difference between medicine and poison is simply dosage. Taurus. You're Taurus. You know moderation. Mostly. Unless it's soft, squishy blankets and expensive food. But you got this, Taurus. You got this. Okay, let's do a card. And oh my God. Lord, darling angel. I spoil you. Okay, so let us see what the universe needs Taurus to know about their subconscious during this blood moon eclipse in their darling signs. Okay. 58. Boom shakalaka. Looks like he's doing a jive. You're putting that over there. Pick it up in. 58. Blinding pessimism. Hold on to your butts. Okay. Oh, God. There goes all my subscribers. Okay, it's all good. It's all good, you guys. This is your blind spot. You're not supposed to know this. It'll be revealed, but I'm trying to give you the medicine to keep it from corrupting your life. This is preventative medicine. It's not going to, cure all, but it will give you a little bit of insight before you move forward with life. Hopefully you'll make a better decision and let this impact you in a positive way rather than whooping you upside the head. That's what I'm aiming at here. I can't guarantee anything, but that's my Sag centaur with her blazing arrow aiming at something. Okay? Working on it. Okay. If you have drawn the sigil, it means that in this situation, your pessimism is blinding you to actual reality. There's a reason that we are pessimistic. We are not born pessimistic. It's a strategy we learn to adopt so as to minimize pain. It's a defiance mechanism. This means if we are pessimistic in general, we have been deeply and repetitively hurt in our lives, and it's a guarantee that hurt came with crushing disappointment. It means that if you're pessimistic in this single situation, you are doing so to minimize pain, especially the potential of disappointment. People use pessimism as a way to explain bad events in a stable and predictable way. We tend to think bad events are caused by controllable caused by us, aka controllable, and will definitely occur predictable. Even though it is said that pessimism spreads helplessness, it is a strategy to try to avoid the painful helplessness of having a goal that you feel you cannot attain, being excited only to be superbly disappointed, and hoping only to find your hope shattered into 1,000 pieces. If you have drawn the sigil, it may benefit you at this time to also spend some time accepting the energy of sigil 55. Oh, for God, bloody. Okay. We have a rule in this house. One sigil at a time. Oh, darling angel. This is a doozy as it is. You can't handle more than one at a time unless you got it down in the practices. Absolutely amazing. Okay. Here is the thing. Pessimism affects the way we act, the way we refuse to act. Optimists, as long as they are not using optimism as an active form of denial, tend to pursue their goals persistently, leading them to build effective strategies and resources that enable them to achieve success. Optimists have a higher investment in their goals and much more perseverance with regards to attaining those goals. In other words, they are happy and healthy and successful, not because of who they are, but because the way they see things. Because the way they see things causes them to act in a way that guarantees happiness, health, and success. Pessimism is the opposite. Because of this pessimism, it is associated with greater anxious and depressive symptoms, resignation, underachievement, and poor physical health. Pessimists often confuse themselves with realists, but if you're a pessimist, you're not a realist. To see what is real, you have to see that reality is made up of both negative and positive. Pessimistic people are much better at seeing the negative in life, but are blind to the positive. Optimists are better at seeing the positive in life, but if they are using optimism as an avoidance strategy, they are blind to the negative. This means you do not currently have a grasp on reality. If you have drawn the sigil, you are not looking at the negative reality in the situation. You are using the negative mental distortion to protect yourself, and it is causing you to act or not act in ways that do not benefit you. Ask yourself this question: what would I do differently in a scenario if I knew I had a very real reason to expect a positive outcome and expect the best? Taurus. You got this, dude. You got this. Use that inner light to guide you towards this, okay? Because I know you've been hurt, but the cycle's over. The worst is over. You can breathe easy. Deep breath. Let it go. It's over. Start a new chapter with love and light in your heart. And follow that inner guidance system. And it'll lead you to this. All right, Taurus. 23. All right. Virgo! You sweet little virgins of the zodiac. Put that back in the pile. Virgo. What do we need? I'm getting money demons. Virgo. What does Virgo need to know about this full moon, blood moon, eclipse in Taurus? What does Virgo need to know? What does the universe want Virgo to? Half the deck. That's what Virgo needs to understand. Holy Jesus. Okay, I just took the giant clump and put it back. Okay. Tower in reverse. It's the slow change. Then we got the Queen of Swords. And then the Ten of Swords. Plastic, Taurus. Or Virgo. I mean, you gotta torture yourself. Dingo dango. So it's moving in slow, but you're holding the weapon here and torturing yourself. Virgo. Come on. You come to the end of a cycle, but lay your weapon down. Dingo dango dingo dong. Alright. So what about this energy? What's on the other side of this enlightenment and transformation for Virgo? The Queen of Wands in reverse and the Two of Swords. Your fire out? You put your fire out. Lost your desire and now you got a choice to make and you're not sure where to go. That's what I'm getting. Well, that's easy. Let's see what's going on in the subconscious. Blind spot oracle cards. What do you have for Virgo and their current conundrum? Heck yeah. 38. That's a cute one. Sigils. Okay. 38. 38. Okay. Reactivity. Virgo. Usually keep a cool head. What's up with this? Reactivity. If you have drawn the sigil, you are currently emotionally reacting instead of responding, and you are not seeing why you are reacting in the way you are. As people, we often react when we feel deeply threatened. The reality is that you feel unsafe and at risk in this scenario in some way. When we feel threatened, our survival mechanisms take over our capacity to objectively view and or understand the situation at hand. The mechanisms make us act immediately. We react in order to avoid, postpone, or nullify the threat of loss. Like a gunshot shooting off a bullet, we act so quickly that we make serious mistakes, which we can't take back and may spend a long time paying for. If you have drawn the sigil, the threat in the circumstances in which you find yourself is not as imminent or as big as you think it is. It may not even be there at all. But the idea of that threat is causing you to think, say, or do things that are making the problem much bigger than it was to begin with. And the more reactive you get, the more potential for solution will diminish. Anytime we are negative, we are on defense. This means that we have a real vulnerability we are hiding and guarding. What is this vulnerability? What are you really afraid of? What is really painful in this scenario? In this scenario, it is critical to stop, slow things down, and do nothing until you are no longer in an emotional charged state of being. That's pretty much all the signs are getting that advice right now. Wait until the eclipse is over, darling. Don't move. Do it. When we walk into a lake, often we stir up the mud at the bottom of the lake, and this clouds the water so we cannot see clearly. We need to stand completely still and wait for the mud to settle back into the bottom of the water in order to see clearly. The mud in the water in this scenario is charged emotion in our body. Do not act until it has settled. By slowing things down and refusing to act until the stirred up emotional mud is settled, you are giving yourself a chance to come out of fight-flight mode and see the situation from an objective standpoint. You can then respond according to that more objective understanding that you do have. A reaction in this is instantaneous and therefore driven by the subconscious mind. This means it is driven by past trauma, beliefs, biases, prejudice, and a primitive bodily functions. Because it is a function of the subconscious, you do it without thinking. Response, however, is driven by the conscious mind. It happens when we make a decision after evaluating long-term effects, the impact on others, as well as our deeper values and personal truth. Because it involves conscious choice, it is a byproduct of free will. If you have drawn the sigil, you are being asked to respond, not react. If you have drawn the sigil, it will benefit you to spend some time accepting the energy. Sigil 30. Okay. So, again, we have a rule on this house. One sigil at a time, because it's a lot. It's a lot to integrate. It's a lot because this is shadow work, and a lot of people are not accustomed to doing shadow work. So one sigil a day. Even then, when you get the deck, one sigil a week, I would go. But not all of them have like that, gee, you're really going in the wrong direction here. You got to readjust a bunch of sails, not just one, you know. So, understanding, right, that this change is going to come in slow, but accepting the fact that, you know, the situation happened for a reason and that you needed to integrate those energies to see them from both sides of the spectrum, I think. All right, I hope this helps. Okay, go easy. And as for all of the other signs, don't do a thing. Sit and meditate. Work on your inner world. Do the hermit thing. And, you know, everything will be much clearer and a lot of things will come to light on the other side of this. So be patient with yourselves and each other. I hope this helps.